Yeah, you can't. Yeah. Yeah. So they said, in fact, it is said, what a man can do, finish it for me, a woman can do. So if a man can impregnate a lady, a woman can do it. Yeah, Jabba. Anyway, so feminism took this to the other point. The first thing they said is, what a man can do, a woman can do better. The second thing they said is, we are equal. We are the same. Yani, there's no difference at all between the two of us. No wonder, which qualifies the first statement. Anything a man can do, a woman can do. So that means our roles can be interchanged. That is why some of us come from homes where women provide. Okay? I hope it's starting to make sense. The other extremity that came about was that liberation is not to take the woman's proper place. Liberation is not only to become like man, but also to become more than he is. Are you following? So then, the foundation was set for the chaos we see today. The reason we have effeminate men today is because we have families, we have women who want to give birth to children without present fathers. The reason as to why we cannot sit on a table as men and talk manly, it is because all along what we have seen is the woman lead, is the woman pay fees, is the woman pay rent, is the woman too, is the woman that. And so it is, we subconsciously we are molded by them, and unfortunately we lack a mentor or a direction as men. And so tonight, you can now put up the first quote, Adventist Home. And so tonight my plea is a call back to what the Lord had in mind. That as much as today, first of all, my sisters, you can rest a bit. How many of us here underwent proper boy to man initiation? They were taken to a village by uncles and fathers, and they were told, this is who a man is supposed to be. Hands up. For a season. Let me, the hands are starting to go down. How long were you there? 3 months. Wow, that is impressive, amen. How long? 2 months. Wow, My brother, how long? 3 months. Okay. This is impressive. Why are they laughing, my brother? Do they know that probably? Anyway, I'm just kidding. Now imagine out of the whole lot of us, only 3 of us were told what is expected of them. Including myself, I wasn't. You know what happened to me? So I was told, you're about to become a man. How? Through circumcision. So you were taken to a place, you were circumcised in the hospital, and that was it. So actually, the things I left with in my transition were the silly and stupid things we used to story with the boys I was circumcised with. And so I have had actually to navigate ikitu ni nini. Because at some point in my growing up, there was a hashtag, mwanaume ni pesa. So I decided to look for money. But again, there's just still a void in me. I'm like, hey, manze, pesa, pesa. Well, it has its part, but okay, ukishaleta pesa alafu, and then at some point nikasikia mwanaume ni effort. So which effort? And which other hashtag has been there for men? Jasho. Yeah? So there are all these things that are happening, and none of them really defines a man.
Well, it has its
Let
part.
me try to make it more practical by using this example. Now imagine Jasho. Yeah? So how many? There are all these things that are happening, and none
Let me use a
of
statistic
them
without
really
asking a question.
defines a man.
Well, it has
Today,
Let me
8
out
out
of
of
10
10 marriages
more
break
practical
by using this example. Even
Now,
the ones that are wedded in church. Who can
Uh,
guess why?
Jasho.
Yes,
So
my
how
sister.
many? There are all these things that are happening.
Sema tu.
and none
Let me use a
of
statistic
them
without
really
asking a question.
defines
A man.
It has
Today,
because of submission.
8 out of 10 marriages.
I would say the reverse of that and say it is
even
because
the ones that are wedded in
there
church.
is
Generally,
guess
a
why?
lack
Jasho.
of leadership. Let me repeat that.
How many? There are all these
Now,
things that are happening.
I have a
Let me
few
use
years
them really
to my baby face.
Today,
Because of submission.
8 out
And
of 10
in my
I would
experience,
say the reverse of that and say it is
Okay, my dad
because
passed. I think this will make more sense.
there
When my
is
dad passed,
generally
guess
a
why?
lack
When I
of
go
leadership.
home and my mother
Let me
sees
repeat that.
me,
How many? There are all these
guess now
things
what
that are
happens to her. I have a few years back to my baby face.
Today,
Because of I'm talking of my mother, and in my
I would
expectation
say
is
the
that
reverse
a
of
man
that
has
and
just
say
walked
it
into
is
my
the
dad
house.
passed. I think this will make
So
more
she will
sense. When
ask
my dad
me
passed,
everything.
when I go home.
Mmenisikia kweli?
And my mother
Let me
says,
repeat that.
what do we do? How do we do it? I am about to do this. What do you think? I'm like, Mom,
Baby face.
because of I'm talking of my mother, and that confirms something that I have always just seen in my dad past. I think whenever there is a
ask
man
me
and there's a lady,
everything.
the lady subconsciously expects the man to repeat that.
What do we do? How do we do it?
I am about to do this.
But
What do you think?
what we are having today is do they lead?
She has said
No.
All
Hawa wote wamefanya hivi. Ask me
ndio
everything.
msiwasikie. The lady
I am trying to say
the man to repeat that.
what do we do? How do we
There
do
is
it?
a subconscious
because
what
remember when
what
we began
we are
having
having
today,
they came when
is
everything was there.
do they lead? So theirs is just to follow.
She has said
No.
by the way, which one is this? This is
All
a mango
hawa
tree.
wote wamefanya
No.
hivi.
And this one,
Ndio msiwasikie.
na hii
That is who they are.
the man.
So even after sin, there is not subconscious because remember when we began having today, they came when everything was there. Do they lead? So theirs is just to follow.
Marriages today
by the way,
are
breaking.
All
How what the message
we have
experienced in
that
is who they are.
the man.
So even after sin, there is not subconscious because remember when we began having today,
Unfortunately,
they came when everything was there.
There is a
So
void.
theirs is just
So
now
marriages
they have to
today
by the way
are breaking.
all how what the message we have experienced in life every time that is who they are. So even after sin, there is subconscious because remember when we are having today, unfortunately, when everything was there. There is a void. Theirs is just now they have to by the way breaking. All how what the message we have experienced in life every time that is who they are. So even after sin, there is my brother. Remember when we are having today, unfortunately, when everything was there. There is a void. Theirs is just now they have to by the way breaking. All my what the message we have experienced in life every time that is who they are.
affection. So even and say that my brother, so once you're seated here and you're focused on affection, there is a voice. Theirs is just so now there has to be hello, my brother, I'm going to serve it once. If you're focused on affection, that is moving from their affection. So even and say to a leadership, my brother, so once you're seated here and you're focused on affection, there is a voice. Theirs is just so now there has to be only natural. My brother, I don't know how to say it best. If you're holding my affection, that's the take charge. That is moving from naturally submit. Even what he said, the right question, my brother. So we have a problem here. There is a voice. So now there is only natural. I don't know how to say it. Spend time knowing something about everything. Come on. We are here. She's, let me, I hope you're understanding that it is not their problem when they expect answers from us. It is not their problem because they were created when everything was ready. Are we together? So she's going through